This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
I wish I am a million from Boadu TV. So, best why your first time no subscribe, you like me and comment to me. Now, Captain Smart, I can say fa or main security. Say security, you won't party. Kamina says a gunner for ye shedanye security conscious will be money near corner bambom. What's the resource? No, trendy papa. What's the resource about trendy? Na Ivan Kyei on the OSP for the day back or member bakwasema or name and penny besse or besse or mine cra but it turn the pansano. And what your resource? Your resource, SHS mind basa moko a month, no more better 3 years, no more 2 weeks, no more better 5 years. Sunny, oh my, and in so me feel you. J Mensa OSP. To the gym
BC WASSCE no. From nanu no nyina eba no. Ensem na etwa gunuma tete bebria. I said dodo na so ebo nkura na chi. Se nkura na anya de na sefo. Ba me no de meti ha se no gidi. Nkura na ya de.
O ma ya de.
Ba bo be homodin. Obia ne obeka se nkura no anya ade no ebia na onim ne ehye da course eni nti a obeka se nkura no anya ade because me mehwe de nkura we fa mu ene babia babedura you see exams wa hu se o set exams na kasa ade a wode access teacher no teacher o kire nkura na no.
Yeah.
All the assessment to crime mechanic saying would be. I said,
what is what here?
All the so teacher Nino so I teacher Nino modern
boy, yeah.
In exams and crown on one or days on a head. In all the so teacher Nino and modern I day. Ashe. All sounds so the air so school no modern more. The syllabus no and I said curriculum now we use you know so exams no so as an air assess syllabus now and I said curriculum no. One was in adversity, even the society na nkasa no so no because wutie bi ayi beche se social studies say no enkra no efeli pa wahu die na yenim ye se ankane no social studies de otra exams ni nyina wa hwe kra de social de and de obetimi apase enti no this year no ba prove say enya no kre enti this year say nkra no social state so it is also an assessment on the society what you say society no so I den ahwe now the entire make say enwa no aya de no yese mefa afri babi a enkra no efri what you say enkra yi control WASSCE entino sometimes no say hwe yi a obeka say oh teacher for no ne anchira de yimti anome ka say exams no access teacher for no so as well enti no obeka say ya WASSCE no and I say at the SHS level no teachers for no am obe home modern now how about babia akra no efri no the basic school no basic school no ne efidi secondary schools no how about the basic schools too. What you say? Cry we mu di enti anameka se bebo be homodin no yese. Cry we mu ni se obeka ya 2018 honom. Abanya watwa mukoyi. Me ma hu se MPP fo bi mu pese be che se. Me pese me dia be politics. Be ma hu se MPP fo bi mu pese be che se President Mama be ni wa mo ne homodin ti ankra no afili. Ba adinu efri free. In 2018 ne aban no ye say WASSCE curriculum na ayi ye de chade e wo Ghana ha isi na ye the new curriculum bi ne ba be den e de ba be kire ade no enti no be mu mienu ye wo the common core no wo ho ne ye wo the standard based curriculum no wo ho enti standard based no na ye ne be de be kire primary for ade What you say? And in Krawe more baby true yes, you know. Now they were somewhere in class 5 or I think class 6, number class 6. What you say? And in class 6, you know, baby, but yeah, but the new column no, H there by dear Kakra, or class 6. Nibe pushy, but you call Edinburgh GHS.
I see.
What you say? And we are grabbing more, but yeah, all syllables, no. Never a new curriculum no for just 1 year. Near Sunny a peer but you call the JHS.
No, but this is an education system, so didn't they say you're manipulating in such
once an administrator, some peer but you call the JHS. JHS one so no, but so yet new curriculum no for bear 1 term baby. What you say? 1 term penna be ye no, never san case that be a mabenye a new curriculum no. Benkoye a offense saying all syllables no. These same people. Enti na ba you confused. The same people no so you san catch them say bencho exams, bencho BC. San we mu a. Enti they were even in a limbo. Say bencho BC and I say bencho BC because for the new curriculum no. Beka say basic school ekosi SHS 1. Enti JHS 3 the friend JHS 3 no. And per the new curriculum no basic 9. Enti SHS 1 no basic 10. And into no exams be no free DC be no free basic 9 now ko basic 10.
Okay.
And we say no I say you manipulate ba wahu na niam no NCC so
technically person me say they were not ready for the exams.
Just say nkra na nkasa no be confused crop of people be ya produce baba be system no.
I see.
What you say? Aha, hwe be koduru, mama ncha da ba ko, be koduru SHS 1 wo ho. Enkra koduru SHS 1. Exams kra na bentro bi.
I didn't say.
Them they will tell you exams kra na bentro bi. But enkra we sua ade for a whole be 1 year. First term bantro exams, second term bantro exam, be kan ni nyina bom ma betro anybody ko ayi form 2. Ne be ye bi mu no no. Uche ye kra no cho exam be mienu no di ko wanim.
How?
And Ramekan Baby say, Baby was from 3 this year, no. Bed ya crab west. Baby was this year, no. Next year, or the other one results say, young fanny and see farmer. Results are better a bit try we say because we want.
I didn't say.
Nany and Yamana may explain in because we want about SHS 3 this year, no. And Baby SHS and I say back SHS 3 this year, no. Bed ya crab ye, Sir JHS 1, but new curriculum for 1 year. What you say? Never sank say, ben go back to the old syllabus. No, never sank old syllabus. And to be right, SHS 1. No, quite be fast to SHS 1D. Because in December, I think December 14th. December at is it 19th or 18th? Because December I'm saying 7th or so. By 18th for them, never sign Buffy.
I see.
Because they just be tools. I was your friend saying SHS a back off from one first term no. Because they just 2 weeks pay. What you say? Never Buffy. Because ya back you know the following term no. The following term now cry call you know. When him say SH1 be try be 7.5 months. Be pay about call SHS 2.
I see.
But new 1 year we more about SHS 3 this year no. But new 1 year of form 1.
No, but in all this challenge, now they crana some cultural exams. It means they were ready for the paper.
Readiness now can answer. So yeah, psycho emotional readiness. But you are just talking from you.
Yes, Philip and the entire paper. Or more passive, no more Philip. So what contributed to the more passive, you know? And I didn't contribute to the more failure, you know. Oh,
that's it. And then the you know, Obi crab or A1's in everything there are exceptions.
I get it, but
in everything there are once I mean this are politics going people for the Bentia I don't know, started the root cause of it. No,
which was my point say, can't only the failure aspect of it. It is if we are attributing the failure as part of it, say because of the way and manner they were treated during the process, no more the examination when some of the best at exams now. Then what happens to the success aspect of it?
Yes, it's a success aspect there. Student be ano, you prepare say obe succeed. What you say? Say failure ma yen kan ho asem.
I see.
Until the failure na aba ntia me ye kan we see no. What na me cho na say? Say nka ba ye ni papa ase a, nka me nya sure say nka obi be kan ho asem. No, the contributive factor no, and as a part of the contributive factor no, me person be sure say, baby ankra no free ni kwan aye fa so aye ye ba be dia ba be duru baby abaduru no. Bibi anko yi. What you say? Bibi anko yi ni nti ankra no, afeli no. E am person be sure say next year kura mpo no say yamfa ni ansi from here. Failure ya abayi no wo. Eye. Dientia eye no, but the make catch us say no yes me di kan catch us say exams bi anu ye the access of friends and teacher no ye the access syllabus no ye the access akra no enti ma ye mfo ya dwi nyina nkosi akra na wa fail no nko we need to relook at the new curriculum na eda honum no hwe enkra we ade ba akokra man kan so ye say unim say ye introduce even new curriculum na enkwa no starting no na textbooks kura ni ho new curriculum na ankasa ho textbook ese nka be de kire nkura na ankasa kwa no enya de a ebi wo honum ne be de ni na namu ase ye bibia asa ye let's do something to represent something
nti enkura na modern bo
enkwa na ya de I'm telling you me enkwa na modern mo enkwa na ya de obi a be say enkwa ya be control exams you know ba nya de bia no bia ono onim the inside story nti a ono no ka what you say me chaba bia nkra free because I am fan start here free ho na ya fan because social studies so far I questions na social studies e ba ye na one na classroom as what na say ya say bia wutimi etimi ye den etimi answer questions no bi enti e be ba ne say ni akra okot na classroom na ya satisfy questions na ma no na ontimi ye den ontimi answer echo say nipa na nkasa na onam honum no why confused what ya nipa na nkasa na onam honum are confused yes say can bia nyema no bi ma e contribute ya ye betimi aka ayi offense timetable eni nyina nsisi so because then time no kwa we mu no from form 1 to form 3 nyina na beni permanent timetable benim time need da abedi makwan beni da abedi bia school enkran wo school ma bi o ha behu nani wo fie adan a yibele yemra fie o ti ase be fie a be o bele yemra school o ti ase enkran ti fie for be 4 months na ba kwa twa be 1 month to school
anyway
and some na contribute you know enya de ba akọ
I get it innocence minister baba we mo na say bia say petition against the
my main education I think is very, very important. Okay. I think that we are catch us Ghana very reactionary people are issues abontia. That is where you see panic. You visit on the the outcomes, but we don't focus on the actual causes of some of these things because the CA, like I'm not sure anybody is surprised about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because answer na enkura be kwa exams are results ne beba say eye positive and say eye negative no a long term exercise happen from somewhere
exactly.
So you cannot just look at the outcome when it happened and so when the results came I saw on social media for Kofa Haruna Drusu know what the results now to him say you see this is a narrow way of thinking because enkura no more real school and they know their people preparation started Haruna Idrisu your first ordinary Ghanaian and all parliament. So outcome now reflected if the fact SC never does not mean that the outcome now I think there is a communication from the GES a communicating more results now but actually reflect the state of play and then because for the first time they implemented a very stringent invigilation mechanism. You know very well, sir, most of the teachers are facing prosecution. because about over 600 individuals were with mobile phones inside examination hall using AI. They solve a question. Some foreign materials and then for no. So the scale not sanema where cosono, not it was quite obvious, and I think specific instruction was given from the ministry to invigilators say wow conducted in any examination malfeasances, they will make sure that you'll be penalized.
Yeah.
And you see some of these things have political undertones. You cannot just glide and let it go. My culture say over the years, you politicize the entire SSE WASSCE results, because a certain political decision was taken to ensure that we roll out free SHS program for a particular group of people, students in this country. So the government was focused on the outcome. Some certain political dividend from that particular thing. So several desperate measures were put in place to ensure that you achieve that. So the focus wasn't about the training and influencing, and I said improving the academic potential of the Enkrano. Now, the focus was on the outcome. That is it. So over the years, the whole concept of secondary school policy, the success was premised on examination outcome, and that was the whole idea. So certain decisions were taken. For instance, so where you've heard the past questions, time of Maisika, over 53 million Ghana cedis procure, and chairman for some of this initiative because the education, the essence of education isn't about student passing exams, but how prepare adequately in charge of his own life. Now the subsequent decision when in social environment, problem, how they are able to tackle all these things. But in Western times, we don't impact students. We don't train them to become anybody. And I said we don't impact them to build their moral and your friends say faculties, responsible people. Now how to get your A and B's and go. And it's the idea activating, motivating government to take some of these decisions. And also don't forget, say, in recent time, 2020, Akufo-Addo Aban no taking a decision to break away from WAEC, West African examination over the years. Now you West Africa for natural. But since 2020, we broke away. So the whole internal examination machinery was under the control of the Ghanaian government.
Yeah.
So that is why some of the results because the motivation behind it is the free SHS. Let us get the student to pass to reflect policy and I am successful. The gauging point was the examination outcome. So a lot of desperate measures, including the parting away with your friends say WAEC, and they gave reasons that your friends covered a whole lot of funny reasons but the reality was that to be able to have absolute control of the results and get things done in a way about reflecting the kind of political dividends that they say achieve, and this time around, and I'm saying there has been a change of government, new government, the same line and I'm for them in terms of results. Yesterday not many or say so more market exams now. What mean market students will know so the person is unable to cross 50 plus and then I say for them. But there were just instances that they should make sure that pass them or more because the Nipano failure. Nipano failure.
Yes.
Nipano failure was said in life. So they should push them and make sure that they all go forward. You understand?
Innocent. So my question is, all this while,
okay.
Yeah. The stakeholders, no, key stakeholders, I'm out. I'm to condemn whatever.
Yes, that is the problem we have.
Now we are facing this reality, and people are talking about it.
That is the other side of your society, and also don't forget that the victimization. I had master cry. I say, to say we invigilator, or So I think we need to accept this reality. Say, reflecting the actual state of play. And to go forward, what are the measures that you go just to ensure say education in this particular country, the actual purpose and the focus for its establishment? Because education isn't about it is about preparing the person adequately. So facing the realities of life. But I'm Africans, the whole essence of education is but the focus of education is we are now it will only enhance your capacity. But first of all, the focus is on you as an individual. Wherever you find yourself, the education is supposed to enhance you and prepare you to face social life. But at the designation of our educational system, no, do not take into account some of these things. We do everything desperately just to ensure that the focus is on exams. And unfortunately, even if you go to our universities, it's the same thing there. The focus is on the university. Thinking that the exams is the punishing pointer. Or make the child. But the whole period, no, how many days in the exams? Sometimes 2 weeks, 1 week. Yeah. So are you telling me, sir, the whole years now, the whole months now, spend it on campus, you know? I don't know there, but exams now about pass. I don't know here. I think we need to redesign and retool our educational system just to ensure that. Now, no matter so being so funny reasons. So, and Krana a teacher for your more, young come once and not come and Krana say, you see, these are primitive arguments that you should make because my catcher man was there. The ocean body abua crying as a for no, and yes, and then the map I discipline and discipline. Yeah. Because when you get to a certain age, so far Eric Erickson, the psychosocial theory of human development, no, offer adult center 12 to 18 years. And for secondary school, no, that is the stage of finding themselves in. And the thing there is your friend said identity versus confusion. And when you are in a secondary school, at that particular way, you are struggling to identify who you really are. That is why in developmental stages in life, baby, I'm for taking a young question in my secondary school. Yes. Or between confirm question DB to okay DB or secondary because at that age, you are struggling for identity. What I say? Yeah. You are struggling for identity to identify yourself. Say you belong here, you belong here. So they go through a lot of experimentation young people at that particular age. So at that age, the primary focus should be on the kind of training and what they man or something about me ground in a particular identity. What chance that this is your role. So from here, you pursue and go forward. But some of these psychosocial developmental weaning, our education system don't even take into consideration. The focus is exams oriented. So one pass here was so useless person that you who be that. So pass here, you are prominent. You understand?
Yes. So this is what how far we have come.
Okay.
But yes. What is the way forward? Because now the education system is being manipulated by the government in power.
Yes.
Yenim roll at the time. Not at say Kofo Bayo Besisano. Atames Bayo no so Besisano. Nanado Bayo no so Besisano. Now John Dramani Mahama Bayo no so Esam. Now it is going through this level of struggle. I mean, because this is a system where it should not go through this level of reforms. Now, Kenya positive reforms, na intimi M1 krano edachin. But now look at the way and manner it's being handled.
I think we just need to get our priorities right and know the essential outcome we seek from education. Because that essential outcome you seek, drive your policy options. For instance, if the ultimate essential outcome you see from education is to getting ABCR, you design the entire curriculum to enhance that outcome. What does that make? But if the focus is on the development of a child, a whole as a human being, the entire educational system is to take a child through a certain transformation. Apart from we school, so failure, so pass you could see that you have become a better person, an enhanced form of a person. So if that is the focus, and then the world around us, that is exactly the focus of every country. Just to ensure that by the time you come out of the school, something has gone through you. Yes, you just went through. But then if you look at the design, and not gonna hire, look at the way we scatter our education. Anajo, I'm for eco school. Area, I'm for eco school. Weekends, I'm for eco school. People are just going just for the certificate. But the system is not designed to impact on you. So you pay a crumb for our school, we know it's crumb for. That is the system, because education is not having any impact. It's about chasing a park or certificate. That was what the last time I was telling you is unam krona jeje amam for certificate free. So nyansa free nyansa ba kokura ni team. The only thing they did no one dance here a piece of paper. Utima we na we yaba, because you should be able to demonstrate to people say I am smart, I am intelligent, I am capable, and this is what I can do. You don't need a documentation. If you are doing a good presentation, do you need to go home and bring your media certificate to tell people, say, make a media school? Who cares? But it's about the delivery, the job that you do. You understand? And that should be the capacity building aspect of our education that we are missing. And unfortunately, I'm forgetting all this grade, they go to the universities. Especially the dangerous ones are those with the AAA ones. Because you just go to the universities and do your little research around them. Because it got to a point you go to the secondary school, teachers are or standing on the board, they write the answers on the board and students copy everything. This is a normal practice that very often happen because the focus is on the outcome. Then that would mean say your category A, but long-term consequence, and then they're working fine. So I think that we need to retool and redesign our education. Okay. Now again, that's in America. China has come to the realization that industrialization is the best way everything will be competitive in this global market. It will let us try to bridge the gap between academia and the job market. And then China, we could see say all the curriculum na school in school direct linkage. And then China has taken a giant step in innovation, scientific innovation, tech. Then as a forum. Sure. So the schools have been structured to reflect that. So when you come out of the school, it's so easy to transition into the job market. You come and go to the universities. How often do people transition into job market? Nippon of free university, I'm first class or call a dual music or your friends national service. Coco credit no yes one man koto. No, people will not even sit down go visit school by then or ever. But these are fine brains and in a normal sense, or more the certain energy biaba are very brilliant, very your friends say energetic, or make me add something of value to our education. Okay, Americans, the big corporations, they go to universities and hunt for the young ones because they have the creative energy. Yeah, sure. On board, but we prefer retaining old brains due for retirement at the expense of these young people because we know say our educational system now has any deficiencies, and so overwhelming. School, Baba na man for correct the past exams. All right. And the schools, all that they do is past questions. Until we no focus on past questions, study out. At the end of the day, the developmental aspect where the education is supposed to have a significant impact on the development of the child. That is zero. That is why the conversation by education this. Everybody is fixating on the results. What's the acquiring development? We have failed as a country.
The institutions are Electoral Commission and Office of the Special Prosecutor. And 7 petitions were filed against the chairperson of the EC, Jen Mesa, and her 2 deputies, Boss Nasari, and who is in charge of corporates, and Samuel Tete in charge of operations. 3 other petitions are against the removal of Special Prosecutor, that is Kisi Ejabin. Now, our indication indicates that various petitions has been forwarded to the Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bonny. And because Article 70, Clause 2 of the Constitution states that the President shall, acting on the advice of the Council of State, appoint the chairman and the 2 deputy chairmen and other members of the Electoral Commission. The chairperson of the EC and her deputies have the same conditions of service as those of Justice of the Superior Court, the Supreme Court and Court of Appeal and the High Court, and so their removal process. It is here that is the issue that Honorable President would have to act upon in consultation with Council of State and other institutions on which we are born as animal way also. Lucius, go much into it, but in the next 3 minutes, I mean, this is the petitioner. Abba, what do you have to say on this?
Okay, with the every point yet. I think says our petition started with one person be Blankson from Electoral Commission Honum. Man be or Electoral Commission Honum. What you say? Be suspended no kakra na the mabede suspended no cry say na device via ayira wo Electoral Commission hono
mo de share no
ne be de share no na actually say be no ball as we be ku the device no ba bibi enti ono ne started this whole issue say opposition president say uyi chairperson no need the 2 deputies no and recently, I mean, I think there's a 7 petition.
Yes.
But 7 no only the no can hold 7 and I say a different from
well me sure
anti 7 different petitions ne assign akọ president was a Benyi president and Shema Benyi chairperson in free home but yet now you say president no also or a guided what you say a constitution no any share no man ye say or ye BNT say or receive a petition be say only obi free home ma or the chairperson no any the 2 deputies na then na no constitution no say then ebo be ho ban what you say it is a petition bisa eba the constitution no as a president no refer them offense and chief justice no mum so set up a committee na committee no enye hwehwemu hwe say asem na anase ensem na amanfo eka efa sampanimfo no ho no hu behia say ye dwen ho na ye nyidadi anase sen enti ene no from the Ministry of Communication communication Honorable Felix Kwacho Fosu confirm say petitions beside them aba
sure
and intino president no so ebe refer the chief justice no so set up the committee no nti yenhwe how the whole thing will go say either say ansem na amount for air 7 different petitions and you obi can you na say ye be my kwan say you can about the chairperson or any the 2 deputies I mean did say obi be kan the obi me won say be branka bi me kan fa no
they put it in writing form
ba anya me ne me be kan wo ha ana ne wo be kan no na mom what is contained in petition ni any no chief justice edibede adwuma ba eno nso no esanso ye susu de anase nhweso de de ma ye nyina se wunya kwanya ebenya position bi anase kwanya ase besom oman a emfa ade no te se ayese opa japade bi a ode amawo ne wo ye no ne ye wope because okay chairperson ya ewo kurom ase no ye nyina ye ni how of us a conducting eba even the voters register mpempi no eho issue okoka enka ahu osori na soldier for be 1000 edinachi ukoni fia soldier for atwa ho ahia what you say we mu nya ye ma e bia me gidi say uja amanfo se be nka ho asema nka amanfo be ebe ba ye hwe hawa ebe faso akọ
very well innocent
yes I think I'm not surprised because in the middle of this year we have a kind of petitions are ready a remove chief justice and a remove the fence EC boss no a bag I'm sure you remember
sure
my net thought the way be a crank a bed door so and the win and a chrew you saying abrabobonia je mensa in the team abo say I'm almost a man for no and I'm almost so Emma the first constitutional crisis occasion in this country for 4 good years where a group of people we are Ghana for Japanese and Togolese. They lived in this country without a representation for 4 good years. That is the biggest constitutional injustice anybody can do. And that alone, no, enough grounds for their removal. Aside that, the belligerent poster and some foolish commentaries being run by people like your friend say Teteo and the deputy, an officer of an electoral commission, your friend say an umpire, a neutral arbiter, one away in charge of elections in this country. That your temperament, your language, the wording, the construction should be something. I respect your man for, but you don't speak in the tone. Critical stakeholders in their electoral enterprise. But Manasare infamous comment. These people, may say if they have a sense of shame, after they let one casa pack your bag, but Kromana Yawono, Sir, I drain you in the party, and the who crop better while a deposition, and that is what. You have said toko no and then nimwasi aba and then your friend saying entitlement no na for and saka biano because I'm expecting senka by now James and boss man say tete oka ho no nkoma pack your bag kwakwa because utu anywhere 2020 the nonsense that occasion in this country 2024 the nearby course wo in some near good court cry nwie e ho ba ko na pandai case ya abai the judge is asking them to go and conduct free and fair election. It means the election was flouted. How do you got the elections? the integrity of your job nankasa is questionable. We had elections in this country where we have to say your best say election from constituencies. Jaba kra na for betwa ho ahia sa party ne rep wo ho ne rep ni ho ye say declare o kan ye bebo because soldier for nso ya bo mo ano ne na sefo no. We cannot live in the country and blessing some of this nonsense and pretend say oh because John Mahama we ne and this enya majority ntino we should just let it go. We may go into another election and this thing will come up, and if you are not careful we will wake up in a new dawn, a dawn of violence, a dawn of pandemonium, and what we don't want to. So for me I think say in as much somebody might think so, baby, there are certain things that you cannot forgive because these are crimes that have been committed. Because if you go to Central Phoenix, the people who were denied 4 years of representation, that was a deliberate orchestration by the electoral commissioners just to cut the people out so that the seat will be won by somebody. These are political shenanigans, machinations that these people, and this is the time, the day of reckoning in Aba. And it's a obia transcend one for monitor tradition, the president. Now, president in his wisdom, I forwarded to the Chief Justice. Chief Justice will not just say a petition, but no. He was also subjected to a critical scrutiny. And now, who said, admitted the threshold. I am at the petition. The petition is really competent. And I said, Otimia arrived on that by establishing the premier facility, and then a committee will be set up. So I think that Ghanaians will follow through. And for me, for me, my culture is, you see, you don't even need to waste time go through a removal of Kisia Jabin. Gaby, my culture said the office of the special prosecutor is a useless creation and a further burden on the taxpayer. First of all, it is not independent. That office has never been independent. And see, the intention for its creation was diabolic. Because when Akufo-Addo decided to set up office of the special security, and then he saw a certain Martin Amidu who was very angry, very peeved. So they realized that, okay, let us tap into his anger, his bitterness, and use him against the NDC people. And I've known that Martin Amidu is somebody of a higher conviction. The person the Boadu doesn't mean that he will allow himself to be used. I know that they we saw the back and forth between the president, and it resulted in the comment that came. Then subsequent to that, that was when this particular gentleman came up. And I told you, sir, this whole thing now amount to nothing because office in Ankasa, the creation in Ankasa now ain't useful. So for me, the best thing that we can do now is to dissolve, cut the office out. Just cut the office out. Now you're making sure that resources be a will be you from the AG department, and if possible, you AG department, from Ministry of Justice. Now the two independent bodies. Now you're making sure that at the regional level, no, they are resource adequate because criminal cases you go buying so as two people sitting at the Attorney General cannot. But the special prosecutor is not helping because Obai mentioned one case and one fire successful. Tisalana pa yetiana or the soldier near my share the titis or war Pakistan. Echo Rura Nemu Kutun in Nema Ecosi. Your friends Legana Yadna Yoko Bossy Tiwa. The issues by a I know that they killed the issue using some tactics. I know that they should not die. And that is the player Kiseja Bede and Nema. So for me, I don't have any beef with him. I don't care about whether he stays or not. But maybe say the office in Ankasa occupy useless. We let us scrap and then let us focus on the AG and make sure that we resource them adequately to take up issues of prosecution because they're not 4 years. The message that the government will have to justify to the people of this country, they say criminals no more no more. That is the only language they can understand. Anything, nobody will take it. So prosecution is something indispensable, and the government can do without it. So any faculty avenue be ready to do it seriously. No, that is where the investments might go. Because so when you go back to account to the people, you tell them say musika and then they've been accounted for, and I said they've been prosecuted. See, I'm like, can you forget that, baby? Come across your back, no more, papa and come my. But this is the whole finance minister, and I was sitting at the center of the financial chain in this particular country. And they're about one casa woman who crew papa crew, they went to be remember. And that I don't know forever and never. If it doesn't come, his children are going to suffer a block of mortification forever because you go to school, or class member catch us, oh papa kwasi where is America went to be now Krano will not be able to obey in one because you didn't come. So I think that it is in his own interest wherever he is. Nobody has pronounced him guilty, but he should come because now he has been declared as a fugitive who has fled justice in this particular country. He should come back, maybe we'll have a better explanation. And then so terrible state of affairs Akufo-Addo bequeathed to us as a country. And I can't say the track record there, it will forever be consigned to the dark pages of our political history. And generation will come learn. A certain Akufo-Addo came as president, and he came and destroyed this country. And that record will forever will be back on him.
In any security situation, and I say going forward, no, I say a tree abo as na security no ni party as mafia many nsa obia, but one way from more security aspect to kurum ha no emu bebre Dr. Kwesi ani no more problem, because one will say we are diploma in security, and we are security aspect. Wundru even unya master's degree in security and no kura no won mean frɛ security aspect. Ya won near be one after master's degree in security no and intelligence gathering no ɛsɛ sɛ wo ye unya practical experience and so what me from say we are security aspect. I be a national security, Ghana Police Service, Ghana Armed Forces, then they have security agencies. They can call you and ask you, say, where you are, and say, then you can call yourself a security aspect. Ghana, how one way security aspect, you know. You don't can say, yes, so can you na aboy obi akabi mwa. You don't can you na uka that's how you're vulnerable. Can you do yeah? What identify your location? You have told us where you are. So if we are looking for you, we can find you. Because me too no me hwehwa me fa o car ni wudin be wo ye adwuma. Me won niam me de hwehwe nipa. And voice is key. Eti security ba ko a e wo Bible me net was na di machi pese me kire wade. Security ba ko a e wo Bible ma ye to kire ye. Muhammad so kan bi. A voice. I say me nwan no I mean the voice says something in the Bible. Yes. Enwan no nim dwanhwefo no ne. Eti say wonam baby a at that material moment no baby a wonam bia a wonni security wo wonni wo a e bo ho ban. Empo se nkrofo wo ho a wo bo wo ho ban a. Bisa won say hwan nanim wo ne. Who knows your voice? One nene da minimum Captain Smart. Me America say obi ni mene. Say me free afidie so say dem kasa wo. Me do aso dem so say dem kasa. Me call party so say dem kasa. Me nya girl so say dem kasa. Me dampem so say dem kasa. Because security was assess you na dey key e nipa ne your voice. Eti, if I want to say Pentecost, sorry, na me de be case study, and I want to teach something. Person me show bibi kitu ebia, Yaro Kasambata, General Kotu Anum, and Professor Kwesi Num ne other top-notch security couples actually. I want to teach you. Mimi kotua sika kwatena classroom kosu. And me tie de omo kekan na me de niam bi toto a. O say Pentecost 4-year convention wa bontia, it is easier to identify as story a ogina ho. Adentra. You were particular voice bi ade to dwum. The angels bow before him, yes way. Ne twi na bam. Heaven and earth adore him on our way. You was said here to your it would be the number one chicken say where mu your Pentecost for. Obe kono so na ye nokore voice. When an part of radio so the TV so not tell him no Captain Smart. Because my nya sir no one say me pentetemu me other side bet me identify me. Me so me person obe hu me other side no. They are correct. They are papa no me pesa wu a wo hwe me no wo behu. Je won we be me. Me pesa wo behu. Enti when na no pa no ni abre o kekamu we dey Captain Smart. We be hwe nso. Na yampa. Why? Voice. Say oba bi oni be mate. Be bi oni oba te. Sa asem si na wo say oba ne ka say wo de wano odenti da bi. Odo obetumi akọ. That's it. Wano odenti da bi nya no de voice. Eyene. Listen, security under the sun has gone beyond enema yen yehunu say physical weapons. So the ones that you see akodiana who say a soldier for any apostle for immigration for ne ade bia mu komu no security proper atra ho. And this and the person me share personal security one kasa ankrankre bible and you dum kane who said no you were adwuma ye. And I say you need obi a wato ne bo ase say obekire ye bible. And you dum kane fanko enemy who said no. Say kaso be a paranoid. The fear of the past. You can say, oh, Captain Smart, where brofo kakaka paranoid. Paranoid they train and say, ade bi aton pen na bibia sia what do wadwe tumika. Won say nyame ye nipa adwe no the model oblongata na ye friend nipa adwe no. Nyame si ye nipa adwe no. Say BBC aton pen a enye obi na bebo amane adwe ni dimirika ekokweba je wanya dementia say won kai hwe. But won kai bibia de a be won say adwe ni dimirika kwotwe sa de no de aba. No won say hey ade ya brantie yi ayi emre bi a menya boy e wo bodwe sanwo emre bi a menya boy e wo bodwe ase no say anana obi heavy tisade we ya na mekọ ho de ya atwa sa na betome bo so wadwe na akotwe aba ene number 1. Number 2 say wo ye security na wo te ase a obi o ye security aspect bi anadwe no wachemu 11 nipa bi a ote bible ase no adwe na da de tim yeti kwankre no ono nko a wachemu 11 enti police ni bi a wo be bia no menye wadwe nse wo ho odin chen watimi abo no enti wunim security no dabi na dwe no niti no wachemu makomako du bako men chew ni na me chew ni na you'll be able to outwit the national security. So I will not be sitting here to tell you that. I will not. Say, asambi so tuma eye nijie no. When nijie to be kwatweba. Say, me kai time me was secondary school. Na ade we time me university. We when I was doing my diploma. Ade we na no so kwatweba. So security is not paranoia. It's preparation. Security is not paranoid. It's not paranoia. So the security couples will tell you. Mimi nyambe drew security couple. I'm still learning. Security is preparation. You got to prepare. Make sure you are a million times prepared ahead of whoever. Abraham, 9/11 assembly see America no. If America was not 50% prepared, the disaster would have been more heinous. It would have been more disastrous. America was halfway through. And we carry all the documents. And I'm in person I've read 18 books. Books could do what about 9/11. Masha more than 15 movies about 9/11 because I wanted to na pesa me tears here and then almighty America yes was caught unawares. And say ye di president Echubo say bodyguard I know security. The usual convoy, but we say president kwa. We say moto mako 4. Edi animu na mienu ba say ya na the president convoy na eba no. Ese say wo twon. Oman na yetimu no ye nkyere yen ade. And then no na meti asese say na nya Ghana ni fault. Yen yeti radio ni TV so no. Any won eye by before krum ha no mo di agro agro security agro security is a game. Listen to me again. Security is a game. And what the agro na sia wobet me am a referee age penalty amount wa bra na ni kwan so age penalty. What the agro na sia offside, you better go. VAR, but security is a game. Security is not paranoia. Security is preparation. Bang boy nya dia usro dada bia eyi ni tifo fro, but bang boy ya husiesie. Eti enyan na wodi Yesu achi no. Bible na da horo. Abraham, the Bible is everything. Because Bible no be won't be. The Bible is not the word of God. The Bible contains the word of God. Because Bible said kasawum, nyankopon ye Satan. Ashawo for kasawum, nyame nya ashawo. Atrofo kasawum, nyame nya atrofo. Abraham ma ye nyina ye kro twantro, se Sarah ye na ye ne kro nye na ye. Enti sister ya to boase said to da bi na ukuru ko jaba bi na o ka so ni yira enye da bi ya se okwo hontokwa because Abraham ye bi esevi ono and Sarah, and that was a security move. Bible and nada e kan Bible ho eti Samson or that Delilah twice. Sometimes you must be deceived so you can be protected. There are other top-notch security aspects, and I'm writing a book. Deceit is protection. Protection is deceit. I thought that I see a dad down and say to me a born home. And yes, sir. Eti Abraham sha de ndi no hu say no say ko ho aye bekumi say kuma Abraham anka nyame bo hye nso amam because that time ne wo Isaac dwen ne wo Isaac eti Abraham do some pempen so no asase so ye we nipa o te security ase kane so ye nipa onye nyame ya Abraham. Abraham saw that security is preparation. It is not paranoia. You don't got to be paranoid when it gets to security. Because past has nothing to do with the reality confronting you. I did a chair, Muno, and no shame for the SCC. So, that's now we intelligence cycle now. And I will say, you got to collect, you got to do this. Hey. Papa, be a friend, low and tell. Propose the idea of intelligence cycle. You first have to have the idea. Now, no, I mean, my challenges are there, though, because the intelligence cycle is not complete. Something must be done to the intelligence cycle. Because we need to factor in the fear of the past. Even though security is not paranoia, but we still have to factor in the fear of the past. So we can be able to have the idea and collect the information. The security cycle, intelligence cycle, that was as it was. You invest actually, me to you. I have proposed something. I've written it to the International Security Journal. What you to me? I'm proposing here. Me mommy wants for him. It's Abraham who said, "Semi biya manu kasa Sarah me yere pa yebekume." Ebia na yenya osra ni bi so adwemponi wo ni tirim. Say Sarah ya Abraham kunu dia ene dia Abraham nim no wacha Sarah. Eti anhwa na yesa kumo no so. Nti Abraham hwa de ni no so de bi onya me yere. Once we your boss see because of the fear of the past, paranoid behavior and attitude and posture. It is a winning who couldn't do better than chain. Never a man catch us say, oh, on Yamere or Yaminia, Cecilia, we am betrayed. One tears here. That's Bema was we are sinkunya, why am what dear, wa me, chess war, album war, then the Wujna Bontain, and catch us say, when Menya was Jerry, hey! Men kasa say the sit time bia na yemfa sa da bi me de Abraham de no na e example amount eti Abraham ka say Sarah nya me yere eti Abraham nya ni tidim sanya ni tidim. Now watch this. When in time hybrid warfare started hybrid warfare, I don't know how I can explain it in tree. Hybrid warfare, okay, ma men fan chechim bi mra what you say ka warfare. Normal warfare, a tuo, a second, a giant, and they might the traditional weapons for war. Okay, but hybrid warfare, say no, and yet tuo, and yet second, and yet giant, because who two are so hunipa. But what I said, when you want pistol, Obin 7 at war, AK-47, Obin 7 at war. But say no. I didn't find hybrid warfare. No, we bet we say bomb back toward Ukraine, boom, but it can't count. But once our computer, mobile phone, no, you use sickening in free, no so, and you find hybrid warfare, and you cyber security. Oh, Nanka, as I said before, no, you tap it. Obi me calls. A hybrid warfare. Eti hybrid warfare e shase Abraham time. By Nyame and I introduce hybrid warfare in the days of Abraham. That's why I'm saying that security na Yesuya was school no. I say Yesuya security no and the intelligence guard no. Yemfa Bible ne Quran no to ye, then we can understand warfare. Enti Abraham I can say Sarah anya na yere. Abraham share Sarah nim di minim ho, but I could see Abraham and Sarah in the Bible looking strangely into each other's eyes. Sarah could not fathom the reasons why her lovely husband could reject, deject, and subject her to humiliation in public before the kings. And I could tell Abraham looking deeper into the eyes of Sarah and the mind of Abraham saying that you don't understand. Woman, keep quiet. Let me play the game to win the match. I could see that. And that is proper security, warfare, hybrid warfare. That is what happened in the Bible. And Muhammad Khadija is here. Hybrid warfare. I don't know how our security experts understand the Bible or they understand the Quran. Because security in Libya is either the person is a Muslim or a Christian. How do you understand the Bible when it gets to security? How do you understand the Quran when it comes to security? So Abraham said, Abraham can say, Sarah Yamire. Sarah Suyedi Alamwa. So what it means is that when your commander speaks, you shut up. Adam material no. Now Abraham na ye leader of the contingent. Sarah was a subordinate. And Abraham can say, Sarah yedi because obey before complain. Our Bible, we must use the Bible to protect this noble nation. And now me real who brutal. We say panty security. I say, oh kumha. Eti Abraham can't say something. Bible say ye man dying. Say ni ba. Then see. Oh here ne yare hybrid warfare. And yes, security be say twito pe. I am waiting to see that day. Africa president to be. Ne convoy about a taxi that be obi adwin to be nkoso say we president the team. Oh, some kind of ton tomatoes ni jenne and they are ready na no. One national security for the president taxi them not or I'm waiting to see that day. I'm waiting to see that day. Yeah, tete hasa no me can say me so. Forget about the way me ba me kasa gidi no. I know a strategy. But me no share me do me ni answer chen. Eti Abraham could die. Me say hybrid warfare from the Bible perspective. They say, oh Pharaoh, so wayare you, so obowa BBS. That hybrid warfare. It's yami jai BB. A computer, cyber security. A computer, cyber security. Pew. Afina, you see, Uncle Abraham, we are sure I on your way. Listen, anytime your leader asks you to shut up. Because what he's seen, you have never heard of it before. Okay? A true security. The goal is not to live in fear, but to live prepared and aware. Adiabakwa who say don't carry them say no. Ghana for ye nim ade situational awareness. Sawuti baby, who a party ase, who a job be ase. Anajo ye kanea. What do you have to do? Bonsa Ghana for the America. No be aso. Me touch no he. No what so phone so touch. But those are my touch no. Now what so phone so touch no. At that material moment, you have exposed yourself. You don't can no be happy in mobile phone so can ya. Now what so? What do you say? Light exposes identity. Light. A man wo yehu nipa ujina ho. Wo so light? Phone so light na then. Enye concept bi de wa ko nye shatawale no bo show no se obi anum kan na obi anso no phone so light o. Wo party bi ase. Kan na yedum no Abraham. Mami kan sam show. Also, Europe, you num kania by heart. You kania you num no. America, you num kania. BBSC. Who are Russia now? Who say baby out to the dum kania? You careful, because when you pay your penekunu. Who are North Korea? Near dum kania. Yeah, for when you pay your penekunu. Who are Ghana? Honey, dum kania. May I just say light and the ECG for dum no? I am for by 4 billion chrome high a bomutuo ekum womoa. Ye dum kania na ye bo mutu. I am for 4. Make kaya busafo. Kania ne call off. And ye tumi ko bo mutu okum wom. Eti nya light na ye dum ni nyina. And yes akoso mo. asamasi ye betue tuo bika mene manche he yebo afari Abraham yewo efie me matomata de fine na makwato manche he ono so pese oto na tade ana yewo hosa kane ne fine na manche he yebo afari kumase na mene na wo tekefem fa ne phone no frɛ ECG panin bi ofre ECG panin na ECG panin ni say manche he jaso men fan to so me frɛ wo mo papa hello munya sa kwasem na mu duro munim sa meto matare mo so kane no piu na kane na ba dent omudum ni yere eti ade bia ebesi ewo ho wo ba bia wo bia you need to cultivate what I call situational awareness. The first thing to know, the first thing, and the first step, the first gauge, first bullet of you staying safe is knowing what is happening around you. Ade di kan wo bambo ho a esese wo te ase pa ne se esese wo di kan te ase the AC. So I say that the first step to stay safe is knowing what's happening around you. Abraham, Papa be Gavin De Becker. Yes, Gavin De Becker. He's one of the top-notch personal security experts in this world. And o study personal security could do baby na yene kura sini drosa. And the Yerebo Bomber we are or science. Yes, Gavin De Becker and the proposal said, in security, do not trust your mother, don't trust your wife. He's the one who proposed that. Your friend Gavin De Becker. So first of all, you pay attention to your environment. Because I know. Baby, I know me I saw them what can you do me and quickly let me run into another point. Let me run into another point. Let me roll my shirt. Let me run into another point. But I made sure say obi or what dynamo sumna babiano who some roll my shirt. Because any partner back can ye ho e wa dem ho na ye niam kwa asor dynamo no na me nim won. It is say yaso obi so me wo me seka me nim. Say yaso obi so on twe weapon etuo minim. So I quickly moved to somewhere at the church, moved to another point, to another location, removed my shirt. I went to another location, I'm here and I'm baby I sum one when you sum and teacher said what you juma. It's what is sumu na wo hwea ma dweno ani kosua no enhu ade ma. So I was listening to voices. Na mi tie nkrofo ne. Na mi tie sound. Because say obi fa American pistol or trying to say. So there will be a sound. Who fa Russian pistol? Who cordon? Esron. What? Eti baby, I was listening to sound. Very attentive. Say a pump action, I'll take then I will know what to do. But I realized that I was like, really? It's patrol, baby. First of all, pay attention to your environment. Every room, every street, every situation. Because national security for me to create Abraham artificial disturbance. National security for every Abraham. You bet me shada be the day we have to pay also kwa kwa na so ka wo na you afri ho na ya catch say a bullet na twetwam ni bi stray bullet na count e wo nko an ye hwem e wo nti na ye ba wo ba e. So first of all, one, you need to pay attention to your environment, the room. Say at this way, I say I do kania. Let me pay attention to the room. Number two, the street. Any probably to Kroma. Quite a fast to call the fear no. Onukra onim hohe. Police a presidential convoy be mami. Random. Namen show defect. And look, from J.K. first time this year, the presidential convoy in a problem. If you want to assassinate the president, it will take less than 3 minutes. You become president to be Okruma. I'm saying this on authority. Because there are a whole lot of lapses. The presidential convoy, the way the drivers drive, the intervals, the communication, the intersections, the interjections, the interferences, and everything. When I sit back and I watch it, I can tell from afar. Say, no person dear president to be a from Kufuor, Mills, Bahama, Nanado, Ebesi Bahama, Sosesia, Obedia Wusesia. Because it looks like we are not interested in hybrid warfare. It's the decades I will call be Frauna party. Who call be fear. First of all, and then our cotton baby, our cotton. Pay a particular attention to your environment. The room, the street. Say, Abraham, me kwasra madam fu bi. Na ne bu afu. Me mo me ma. Se me bua me ma o kata wani. Me gwa. Me gwa wa ye one say. It's na say me ma no call. Yes me be the tidal reef. The way I'm see gwa o mo 1 no. San kwase ade na e call so ho no ko ene. When the name Yanso be Jane, but one call in a woman boss is a kubolos and a call. No catawani, wow. You know what I was doing to them? That unexpected bullet, unexpected anything can happen to you. So you got to be aware. It's so quadruple be a room, street, situation. People fear now boba and now bo yirigidi mabium because we beast. That's the situation. Number two, who could do a sorry there man? Man can say Yamina Jenkwa. And the Pentecost as well there what Belgium Mubutugui. What did they Belgium by Muguye? They exit point to do so. By Yen Hano, the dear diagro baby as some so big near Fano. Yet the dear you feel saying a boy by sister, my main cancer on show net. Say the watch now was only a bomb say pay. My main can be wow. Yami and your Adoma says I cano. Yami also bulletin. So you identify exits. Where you had it? Sound was here. Check it, didn't what's the way African to be? May I show us either Zimbabwe? Check it. Number one, identify exit point. Mimi ko program ya sia. Na me dika ko check it. Exit no baby a obi nka say BBC a metwe dwane afa ho Me pen ye did the woman yo the idea did it. Ha, wait, me sure say we be Ghana. How? That be a quote. Did they say So observe it and I identify exit now. As I say, we observe people's behavior without paranoia. As I would me, medical catcher say, security is not paranoia, it's preparation. When we exit point in the way, to WASSCE, when we be a BBC or between Johnny Afaho, Ako, Afe to WASSCE, nipa na ete hono. For what Jane when ni was so no one no steady one. Show me ye. Jay, a ho kwa sa na wonko. Producer we are the president or speech. Na men chow lapses any president in Africa, not in Europe. Man said I'm from Mahama. Na security for the say, hey, I am identifying lapses or Jomam in the Kofa country for African country for. And our former president either J. Kufo or Nanaro. Woman to obey Now I'm sure that's. Number 3, keep distractions like headphones or phones in a minimum in public spaces. Obi o what na okodu baby a na obo bibi on the phone so a na we bie ni dede mpacho nkwa na wo mobile phone na sound na ede ade ubetimi hwe etuo Abraham amenka trick bi nkyerɛw etuo se etuo to pay na wo te sound na kyerɛ sɛ wunwui obi etuo abodo a wawu no sound no nti bi aha eye pope wo ya di tuo na kyerɛ wo so no sa sound na wotin pay last a which is about 2-3 seconds no wo tuo na bon wo nti bi and o kasa no do baby ye bon nsɛm ma no president Kufo kasa ye no ye bon nsɛm ma no sɛ ukɔ baby American president ewo a o kasa ye bon mama na secret service for holding no be alert. See me here. The KGs in Russia. So Putin kasa. Now almost a kasa na ye crofo. Also we no be alert. All other things are and what them want to protect the president is activated. The reason is that clapping it will stop every sound. People who are clocking their pistols, people who are actually re-engineering the sound of their pistols or other weapons. One thing. But in fact, I want to tell the loopholes in this one. Because it may happen. So we'll share a convoy. It is just the speed. Driver for him kaka. Asam ni be say wie, asam wo 2 hour you. One day, make no ho asam. So number 3 or 4. Me friend bibi order. Eno ya me na ma propose. Me say friend order. OODA. Observe, orient, decide and act. I know your Captain Smart proposal. The friend order. Observe, orient, decide and act. It is how could do die be able to be a no. And so making decision say, obi bet to be a kumi. Eh, man, ya wadri in timpani first who could do a summonia. And penny first as I catch as a pie, yes, yeah. bone so yehe. Etime ja wo ban bomb fan show biansa because you think you have bodyguards. The bodyguards are only 50%. One wa for we twa we sha no mbo ho no. Wo mo ye adwuma hanchechemu edunum 85 na aka no. Eye wu na ye bo ho ban no na se wo bo ho ban. Order. Observe. Orient yourself. Decide and act. Observe this and she baby out to the year. Woman wouldn't say about if you will be and pay wasem. I wouldn't yet to nip and pay us yenim. And what? I wouldn't want. Now I got 20 pounds. What dream wouldn't say what wasem? We say you are not observing anything. Really? You must be joking. You need to start observing. And you begin to reorient yourself. In case of any eventuality, where would I be able to mushroom myself and get out of this space unhurt? That's orientation. That's orientation. In case of any eventuality, how do I mushroom myself? Because mushroom emre. In the security, I can't mushroom and say, "What?" Every security operative is a mushroom. What? So first of all, protect yourself. How would I be able to manage myself? Decision. And train now can say, "Oh, JB, kobonkum by force. I say kobonkum." Because I swear to be winning. I swear Captain Smart winning. You swear Abraham winning. So decision no a won necessary make. And then you have to act. Hey, who ko party any dum kan e petam fork show wosem. Ti asa na ka kire wo ye. Because me so fork entuo because of my training by Francis Poku. Me hu fork am suro e che entuo. Cause I did fork betimi aye no silent. A tuo was sound. Even silent space of crowd be and so what to a bit create sound. But fork sound be na fork create je tough. It me tia in my experience no. Me slow fork e che tuo. It is out a party you do kan e pe me knife no you fork no. One day match on it so you fork. Nya bibia no metimi a kire wo. Point number 2. So kodru baby a yedum kanea baby a wa say hey ehin na mabedu. Point number 2, be unpredictable. Let's say be unpredictable. Man ya want to say so jeni a yesi gina hanti hwa na agina dabi. So jeni ne tuo bianim wouldn't to or second or daggers or other weapons, but wouldn't it be? It could do baby be very, very unpredictable. It's me minko program be antra fa koda. Fa and I'm say enya me be you got to be very unpredictable. Control your routines. Your uncle they don't control their routines. Oh, me hey, madam for me boyfriend e wo. Me sin ko jam ye. Sister, me wo fa bi awo fa se ni nua ba yire ne papa ewu. O me sin ko jam. Oh, control your routines. Especially when kwakodru baby wedru no. Ehin na woko. Then na woko ye. You see, the enemy thrives on patterns and break them. Any partner who do what you know, do boneno. They thrive on patterns. Otu say no. Captain Smart. Obefa. Ehwe na ha ye bi no. Obetuka away. Obeye say that's a pattern. In security, we call it the PTN. So we can just identify your PTN and follow you. Well, sir, adie bi wo am. Sir, area ba na nkofo bie. Yes, I say. In security, we call it the DB, deceitful blade. Saturday night, what kind of some windscreen or said, then we are born will be me drive ya me. You be able to drive it. That's all quite proper security driving. Who could see proper security driving? Is that in Israel or in USA? And so to be here with sunshade this wedding. Now call 120, 140 kilometers per hour. I won't crash. And yeah. What could you baby? We need be born come on. What could that JB office? We need JB born come on. Now your so-called sunshade, you know, Debbie, come from. Not true, Tiko. Enti who anim ni identify. Me che wade o. Upa no wafa. Never follow the same route or routine every day. Benye. Obi aka say me fie dey. Me tisi fi kwa ni mu a na eno an okọ ehọ ye ofie. Everybody knows. Ehọ an ofa. Hardly say nipa bone ope wadu bone no u gate anu no obekum makoma na esi okrum ha. And to be careful. Number 2, vary the times you leave or arrive home, work or school. Etwana shadaye late. You see, yes, security we observe to act. It's when you say security, you can't say, basso. Now what? So we share national security, no can and yet, say, bass. I observe and act. It's a better to the deeper back one, but do a chibo sumi answer. Simple way you were through assassin. On our chrono. It's a mra would you call baby? Yet himself a pump for. Why do you always want to stay at one place and drink beer? Master, baby, back sport back because want to be free. Beer and what you are exposing yourself. We are in a world of hybrid warfare. So stop this. Me. Answer na me send me location amount. Let me send the amount. So avoid sharing your location in real time and social media. Now, my our location, location is sending you will be a live location. And your current location. Now, maybe send me studio her location. I'm a JB. Namimbo JB number. Namin chewa DB. Na omina ye team no wiase wo say nya Ghana nko an say some person me send JB. Person me send JB me location a. Ma call me location say. Eti de edikan no tieniye. De edikan no eye share live location. Bam. The etosu no send your current location. So what should there? Live location green no eson 10 na. And we can say pan white to be shen men send it bid da. Cause it's a live location na wo hono. want me phone see ben send it be more biada kosi se obewu because see enkophobia dwe you say live location no mami chom wo send live location ya but won't be within the 24-hour cycle no metumi ahwehwe aha eti say wo send live location na baby a wonam wo krom ha bia we are simu bebia ye behu me but then Crawford here almost say after 24 hours no sadia na it is not true ye mu bi sa no after 24 hours kwa de wa ye behu ntem it means sending live location mo bia biom not even your husband or your wife menye because eba the Bible menje wo yere ne wo maami ni etimi etoda na sabe kwatanta na mi pia me nkra me maami oh pako no afre me papa say wo kom say ane me ko umpa gi asabo nche me but aba me Bible I don't trust my mother because bia na dream fine oni obi bedi nkomo oh sesi a na otuka o na no say okwahe o say okwa you expose me. Number 2, you say bibi send your current location. Current location so trouble. Once I know so green lay around and a green back down 15. Current location it say any day any time baby I would say I was sending location we go do ho me mehu. Eti mama shase live location we once I will call live location now a man process tin na ma send am JB eti me live location se see ma send am JB ba me buying bar once me live location the before ni abeda ho se see I me JB ndi ti me send delete ti me delete. Number 2 wo current location a revolve current location is what I will send no my send current location no ama JB one say baby I say me phone da no ho and na ye baby am te se see ya me no ka say na ye red kase no enti no de a try say de bia da e be de beto e de tracking beto me phone no so no enemy location so no adabia meba bedru sa current location we no JB be hu me say ma bedru ho chale mo ko attack no eti enye wa say ena ma send live location I love him. You love who? I love her. You love who? I say who no. It is our live current location we know. It means that anytime I am current, anytime my energy current baby energy. Anytime your energy is found, I was happy we know. You better be anyhow. And also me person me delete. It is a me delete now. Delete for everyone. Now me call. Now, what about next location now? I have our locations bear more than 10. And I was so need now better be home. It be our live location, our current location, our TV3 network, our media general net Ghana. But TV3 media general difference be no home. Baby Fako. So TV3 media general. The same thing. But home base. It is a meme say no location say we drum na bra. Mema home base. Mema home base. Who check location your man? Because see, locations like send the man microphone Abraham. 5 seconds plus or minus precision. Eti maybe a wujina no. Just 5 seconds away. Pepe. We are. We other places to say Afrikiko. No ma say Afrikiko. Ama JB. Ti JB Afrikiko say o medru hana woni hana say twen me. Neba. Eti phone so location na. Wa send now what is? So what send current location say? JB wo menchen hanka obie. Na nka me kire wade. Current location we am send ama JB no. Bisa won say, I didn't think me am send current location no. Make me so asan bie. Because me send my JB. So onu ndi na omra. Ba me so so mabie. Head north.
Then you will arrive at your destination.
Oh, someone can say you will. Or say he will.
Destination.
Chechi. Oh, I say very. That's why I'm teaching you order. Observe, orient, decide, and act. Me sene ma JB. Ma sene ama me ho enti or say. JB. Aha, enti or say JB abedu. It is our sending location grandma obi a. Man you want into silent. Say me biom. What sending baby location ma obi a you phone free silent. Say the obedu a ebe yes the way no ye no kudu. Na what to say JB abedu. It is our obi kura betumi asoma no say kohwe. One ho am na bai. O shade e ben. Ono nko an nam. O de car ben. JB, and I'm sending a man.
You have arrived.
Because ono JB, abedunti. Wabedru. Atwa sade we wunim. It's a current location. Mempe live location. Me what's my current location? I will expose you to me. Let me hear any day, anytime around that vicinity. So leave no digital or behavioral blueprint for potential threat. Who could do baby and an amateur no? Man, shut down, avoid sharing your location in real time or social media. Eti phone no, who trap picture, will say, will say, here location and count. Sister, are you crazy? And then for trap picture, no one must for date and time. So I did na more two pictures in the solo. And your greatest means I will expose you. You say because our location now, we trap picture, who accept here. So date and time with the two phone no so. E bedi wachi won kwanda ina. And your friend hybrid warfare, cyber security. Yeah, you be now. And I saw the date and time. I took pictures now. We trying so location now. They are to say picture away. We trying to come on. Picture away. Parliament House. Now they born once for any sister. Why expose you? We need that over position here. Obi the soft copy of that image. You know. Me de hewa me. So number one. The last point under B, unpredictable, leave no digital or behavioral blueprint for potential threats. Inconsistency is a defense mechanism. Predictability is a vulnerability. Inconsistency is a defense mechanism. Because a true security, you got to be very inconsistent so that nobody can trail you. And predictability is vulnerability. So be mindful of that. Third point. Me when you 10 and me pesa me chro 8 komo sesi a me 2 pack ho na ka 6 e china me chro waka ho eno light pa yedum yo kan ya yedum o Pentecost aso dem. Listen, Abraham, a man's home is his castle. Make sure it is guarded like one. Your home is your castle. Make sure it is actually guarded as one. Ufie, hey, say, crocro de dem, eye wa wo den wo han, eye wa de wa wasie, ufie no ye wo mansion, wo castle. Bo han sa. Ni peni bi oso, memba ofie nti, ebi ankwada no sori anadwo no mu hia bibia. Ye beba bo mi punum enti yembie mentu mi punum na mada tum ma kwada ne mebom. He kasara ye kan se hwan no hwan enye twi hwan a Latin Hebrew word who has access now. WHN. Would you want to make sure that? Why you tree kasa? Tree hina. Why? Who has access now? WHAN. Why? Who has access now? Eti enipa na obebo uprunum. No we be wano. Why? Aha, what I say? Why? There's a who. Who wants access now? There's a who. Obi. Oh, ope akwenya aben wo baby a wono. To make sure you reinforce your doors, windows, and entry point with secure locks and alarm system. Alarm system never warning. It's sure a very simple alarm system. What to promote we are twadua shepono na se. I'm sure. Oh, me twitwa ba you me refi. Eh rade. E kire me kire wo. Epono na watum no. Epono na watum no. Wa watu prum kokro wa wada no. Mentum sanko. Twadua. Na fa bo wudi dua le hye ho na enko mienwani bo na enko hyase. Because ade bi encamp na ye no ho no, it serves as a break of opening. Everything na America president bia okoda ye man ade na e 3 inches no 3 inches na e American president se ba kwahye dem no watum no 3 inches na nya hwe ye man ndua nketenkete miensa na de ahye pono na wo do na yabon kwa na akoshim kwa na akoshim kwa na wo bodyguard na wo do na chire bi so say is the 3 inches fixed? Or say yes, it's fixed. Yes sir, you can have a good night. The child says so what me be sa pono na sa de na sha say no pia it will create a frictious sound, friction beba, because eno nka pono no ho enti wo pia e betwi eti me amete that dem ho no mete say me pono no ye for so no ese sa ne mani na no yesua me say na light pa ye do Pentecost aso de na mo say hey say wo case asemo motion sensors and light they ne board ntimi ntobi cameras and smart security system unisika ntimi nto ba obetime bubu nnua ahye wo door na se. Always verify visitors before you open your door. Because I know na your boys are boy me ye nyama no wo car ni ye dum kania no so boys bi be frame me na me hwe o ana me so for so kuta the mobile phone ana no so ja tokro ho sumnim no no so ye ko me shada catch me presiding elder say am nyi de ma ni bi wo me presiding elder adwim no who so a presiding elder ntina me catch say mo nyi de ma ni bi but am you see me presiding elder as my security. Oh, what I say? Because oh yi niam ni bi na ogina ho a obi a o baby asakane wo ho se sum wo ho obetimi identify say obi e be san ne ho ana say obi ba president so person e nyame adwuma nto person ye bi nti wantie no no so yi bi na me jai say me yi ti bi man yi bi na me bom pempe kwa ha aba ha kwa ehom sa ye dum kane na hu say so obi adi tu owura dem ho a nko obekum wo mu yina me nka me kode dade hwa obi oye security ni bia sorosum esum anya de pa do not leave spare keys outside. Oh, Jamie, my dear, Mira, what free fee, Anne, me de safwana to doormat nase. Ntuba, no way. Hey, sister. Never ever. Masa, sa upuno no, safwa ba kuna wana weyere cha. Kotofu fro. Nama weyere safwa. No sunya safwa. Enja will spare key outside. Never do that. Because they tell say spare key no one what security ase no oba no fa spare key na on fe mie wo pro no obekwa akobobi ana say ene ye wo senses a ye de wosafo okay oh say we ye Toyota for den na we ye krofo a eye cars ne den a we car ni wi a ade we kura ye bi ni say safa ade wo car na ye ma ye no car safo bia no dade we e hye ho e kan ti ase etu ukuta Toyota Land Cruiser ukuta Lex ukuta Mercedes Benz ukuta den there's a metallic component a part of your car key. Eti se wu bia we ko be letterbox we are dade. Now let me shock you. Mama we yam show. There were cyber door access mechanism. Sadia we ya ekuta mi. Say man you say car key bia o say you say a friend key ni se. Ntoko ye ededa ade yi mu no. Eno na ma ne hu ni say check car no box no mu a lock no mu etimi bie. But let me tell you today, what the cyber lock sensors at the tar key we ho na wutwa dade bia na wo configure ade we ha dade bia wuro mu bibie ene ye fe no master key enya master key bia hui se no ye wo super cyber sensor ebetimi ya copy ukiwe within 2 seconds but man can 1 minute pa na copy eti ye de to ho say or the dade no to ha no or the way uki na we jawa bonte ho na to ho won te reto kwen ka we no do sa no ato do mat na se usafo no da ho pepepe say akromfo no ba no mu bibia ni o phone by umembu lock ya sisa de man so ya san lock no fine enye ni na na ya wo key na wuja to ho no eye we bia it the majority of the time sa key we na ehye me ka key who say no mi am da to fi mi ya because the cyber sensors no activate dadie bia ebetimi we say car no because a push to start oh concept na we no bra sensor ye be fa wako protection begins at the perimeter. Protection, it begins at the perimeter. Defend your space like your life depends on it, because it does. We are meme bro funti enye da fansa. Protection begins at the perimeter. Sa baby kitwe bi bambo no sha so baby kitwe bi na wugina no. Defend your space like your life depends on it. Because it does. Baby kakra bi na wugina no bo hoban. Point number 4, America, save your digital life. Cyber security is about people as much as it is about technology. But maybe your friend there is a patent, or one of the cyber security experts in this world. In the book Cyber on the Rise, and the idea we will coffee and make catch on me carry enemy team. Or say cyber security is about people as much as it is about technology. In fact, there is a patent, PAYTON. Or say use complex, unique passwords and enable two-factor authentication. Time when you have two-factor authentication. Obi met me the password at the phone so. Say to us, I mean, no dig commander password. I met me a hell. Me who 2 times me break your phone. For the quita now more password no. Yo show back mienu. Akoswa ya miensa obetwe bie wo phone uja to ha. So it's very complex. Unique passwords and enable two-factor authentication. Next point. Avoid clicking on unfamiliar links or downloading suspicious files. What was I know be a say, hey, on your online who story be no I could be I who clicking on familiar links. I didn't win him officer wada su ko hu ye no. Ono akomia so. Okomia so no akọ say JB of Onia FM involved in an accident. Who him the entire story no ye to ho. Ye pay access to your phone. Ye person who click it paper ye nyam. Unya be so pew medical check at the end of that to details. Na ye nyam because why do you say JB? What you say Onia TV branch on the Captain Smart ye show no when you accident. My case is here to my wallet so now so pew. You bet me a shada BB any Onia online. So avoid clicking on unfamiliar links files. Ya kwa secondary school na say ko twa mfoni ni ade ya wo saa na ebo ene Philip ne gonsan mo de to so say wo pe pictures na ha link ne da ho me sa pictures no me fa nya he me kwajo me yo me fa nya he se be bia me forward am JB am the JB phone abie na mama JB forward the pictures na mama me. Next point, seconding your digital life. Limit personal information shared on online. Hey, damn, the bia me can some way chemu. What I to ho when you ma bema what I bema when you ni ho they are sending we officer your telephone number now they send here. We may now pictures and then confirm be a Instagram pages I'm already 5 years. Hey, are you crazy? Me hardly say obe hu me ma emfoni on Facebook. Hardly say obe hu me ma emfoni on social media. You see, I say we life na we personal information. When you kunya asem fabi na wa kwatena ho. When we yiri nya asem ketwa bi na wa kwatena ho. You can see here, pictures. Who did he pictures? Ebi nkrofo te toilet so kura ne. Wamfoni because ne do be use na akono. Chaba pictures, social media na buy no ahwe amount unima me catch the one ne. Social media a security tool. Yare hwehwe nkrofo. Social media ya mfa mbra osefa pesika. Sa sika na ewo mu na ye bait. Ye de buy se de ben ya. Meti ya hwehwe. It is so wo sisa wo ho nsam gu social media. Facebook, picture bia obetwa wasase so bia Facebook. And then use VPNs when accessing sensitive data on public networks. VPN me kasa no so me kire wo mu na yenkoi. Enti nyame ya adoma e china ye be enum. But in digital world, your identity is your fortress. Guard it relentlessly. Listen again. In the digital world, your identity is your fortress. Guard it relentlessly. Never expose yourself. Don't think you are so beautiful. You are handsome, you are tall, you are short. You're wearing a beautiful clothes. So you take pictures and then you are every day posting yourself on social media. Listen to me and listen good. Donald Trump on the year no trusting. Na onim da so obesha bikini asabe. Na kusua kuma be fele ho. Obey first lady no. The first ntokwa a oni ni kunu Donald Trump nya that picture. That picture. See, I forgot to say, she is exposed. Your wife is exposed. For that matter, you are exposed. Spousing is exposure. When I am a spouse, we're exposing my husband and my spouse. Spousing is exposure. Etu ku kwa asem abonten ye de bebreo. We recording kwa asem abonten ye de bebreo. So CIA told Donald Trump, your wife is exposed. And that is why she was banned never to visit any beach. Yes. It's na Melina. Bisi ne. Uncle beach biom no. And so Bayere, Oko Beach. Hillary Clinton, Oko Beach. Bambalina, Yesemen Oko Beach. Because we are exposed. Pictures now we can and net to one. Why do you say Yemfoni keke? Dakro, Ubeba Behemi. I bet Yam himself. Ye debate. Tomorrow, I'll tell you about being selective with your circle. Be selective. But I say, why are you boom? Why? And you tree. And you can't casa. Hina. And you tree. And you can't casa. Why a security term? Who has access now? Why? WHAN. And yet key and ya can casa a security term. Until you're careful. A china member make sure say soon do what be a soon can be all of us them. The obey Mam say any pan tip buying boss same krumha. We are all vulnerable.